What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie. We're back with another episode. So, Millie, what are we going to be talking about today?
Today we're going to be chatting about a movie we watched recently. So yeah, it's called Alien vs Predator. For those of you who have been around the Alien franchise, you know this movie well. It came out in 2004.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally like over 20
ago.
years old. So yeah, we're just gonna chat about that a little bit, my connection to the film, and then like get your first impressions.
My first time seeing it.
Yeah, and then yeah, go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good, Millie. Yeah, well, okay, so we had initially watched this because Millie let me know it was one of his favorite movies as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
So I guess from that, Millie, I'm wondering kind of what it felt like, or if you, I guess, noticed different things from when you were, I guess that could be both. Two questions. What did it feel like watching the movie after like having really loved it as a kid and now watching it as an adult? And then we're gonna do the second question after.
For sure, yeah. So I guess like watching it as a kid, it was kind of like the first scary movie I was allowed to watch.
Okay,
and so it was kind of like teetering on that threshold. Like my mom had seen the original Aliens way back in the day in the 70s, and so she had seen it as like a very scary sort of film. So scary movies were very like deemed against in my household. But Alien vs Predator had just enough action for me to like be like, oh, it's an action movie. So yeah, we had like the portable DVD player. So in the car, I was either watching Van Helsing or I was watching Alien vs Predator. Those were my two films. So
that's cool.
So yeah, it was like mad nostalgic watching it. Like I'd seen it so many times growing up, but watching it as an adult was definitely like very different.
Very cool. I really love that brought some like nostalgia and memories back for you. That's super cool. But on that note, what was it like what did you kind of notice watching the movie as an adult versus like maybe you didn't really pick up on some of those things when you watched it when you were younger?
No, that's a great question. I mean, first of all, just like the entire premise behind like why they even went down there, like the what was it, like the mixture of ancient cultures and essentially like Antarctica being like this untapped land that because it's been buried in ice for so long, you don't really know what's underneath there. And so I really liked how in the beginning of the film, like as an adult, like I would have never noticed that as a brat. Like, let's be for real. But rewatching it, like as an adult, I was really like keying in on the fact that they mentioned that the pyramid that was underneath the ice was like a mesh of all of the ancient cultures.
Like
so
3 different cultures, I think.
All of like the pyramid building cultures of the past, they all had influence on this one structure. And then when they get down there, obviously like the alien beam cut through the ice. Like that's like a crazy like thing. Like their ship
technology to be so precise. To be so like perfect. I mean, how? It didn't like blow anything up. It literally just made the tunnel that it needed.
Exactly.
And then it was
ready. And then they were ready to get down there. And then like, you know, also the element of like the Alien versus Predator being like a hunting trip, like a coming of age for like the predator species. And like, like
so crazy. That's such a crazy concept.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's like something I completely missed prior, but like, seeing it now, I was just like, wow, like this is like a rite of passage for them. And it's like this hunt that you have to complete. And we obviously like there are examples of that in human culture, like rites of passage that like people have to make. So I thought that was also like a really cool
interesting, very cool. I feel like there was definitely a lot of, I guess, like parallels we could even draw. It's definitely very different, obviously. But I thought that was really interesting because obviously they showed like the size of the like teenage predator at the end of the movie, and I was like, wait, those guys are actually so small compared to the rest of them, but they look huge compared to the humans.
Exactly. Such a good point. And then I just really think that like again, watching it now, I really gave appreciation to like the temple, right? Like we think about like the pyramids and the temples that we find in modern times, and it's like we don't really understand what a lot of the symbols mean. Like a lot of those symbols, you know, we hypothesize and we've we've deciphered deciphered different languages based on like our understanding, but we don't always know what all of the symbols mean. And so I really liked how in Alien versus Predator they kind of like play on that idea of like, you know, these ancient temples were built by humans, but they were built because we were getting guidance from like ancient, like advanced civilizations. And so I thought that that was like a really cool like conspiracy type of vibe that they were playing on.
Yeah, really cool. And almost how like the humans used to worship the predators because they taught them how to build. And that was a question I wanted to ask you about, like what you were thinking and how you were feeling about the teaching that they kind of portrayed throughout the movie with like the predator and the main woman character. I forgot.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a really good point. And yeah, the predator was like able to communicate with the human really well and like teach like the way to like hunt at the end. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting like concept, right? Like, were we taught by an ancient species? Like, where are our ancestors? Where are our roots from? Like, and that's kind of what the whole Alien into like the Prometheus like movies are kind of like asking that question. Because like in the reality, like humans back in the day were so curious about like where we came from, where were our origins, were there other people that led us to be who and what we are today? And I feel like those questions are still largely unanswered.
That's true.
And so like it's very interesting that idea that is predicated around like maybe there was advanced civilizations that taught us what we know, and because they only revisit ever so often in that time when they're not around, maybe we're losing sight of the things they taught us. But then when they return, maybe they're returning thinking, hey, what's going on?
Right. And then it's like humans have lost their way sort of thing. You know, and then what do they do to correct that like veer off?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, how do they bring it back?
Right. But it's crazy because like in Alien vs. Predator, they were literally just using Earth as like a hunting ground. They were just like, you know, we're a superior species. We're gonna hunt here. This is where our rite of passage is gonna be. Like super casual, right? And then if the hunt didn't go well, they just wiped out everything. They were just like, we're not gonna let these aliens escape, and humans, sorry.
Literally, they were just like disposable.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you never know.
Right.
Kinda like how, I mean, if humans here went and colonized another planet, you know, and that does kind of bring us into any like also conspiracies, because I know you had mentioned there were some conspiracies that are kind of in line with some of the things,
like the themes in the movie. Well, I feel like that's kind of what we were like talking about, like the ancient aliens like teaching us those sorts of things. What other conspiracies were you thinking?
I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. I hear you. I wasn't sure if there was like something specific, but yeah, I feel like the being taught by ancient aliens, like aliens visiting us and like checking in on our progress as a species, aliens potentially using our world as just like a ground to try things and just experiment on. Like, I feel like it plays on a lot of those like different conspiracies. And then also just like the ancient history that we don't really know about, right? Like they were in Antarctica and there was a pyramid 2,000 meters below the ice. So it's just like that really begs the question of like what existed before like that ice and what's beneath that ice. Like we really don't know.
And the only reason they found it because there was like the heat signature that all of a sudden popped up, which triggered the Hun. Literally triggered that.
So for them it was just like, every 100 years we're gonna go back there and see how it goes. And then like again for humans it's like we still don't know that much about the world around us, which is pretty interesting, because we haven't explored our oceans and we really don't know what's beneath the ice. And so it's a lot of unknowns out there.
It really is, because I mean, even at the end of the Alien vs. Predator, the like mother whatever went sinking down into the ocean.
Right.
Do we know if those things can survive underwater?
No clue. We have no clue. We have no prior knowledge to go on.
So I mean, you know, that could be a whole nother thing.
That's a fact.
Because like you had said, we don't really know what's in our oceans. We don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean. That thing could have figured out how to survive and just been eating
once it got
stuff down there.
Who knows? But we know it's not coming back.
Yeah.
That thing did not have any swimming form, from what we could tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought, and you know, now that you think about it, I'm thinking about like the other Alien movies, and I'm like, dang, that means they must have created that queen alien like on Earth at some point.
Oh my gosh.
In order to like trap her to get her into that like cage and all that
like,
stuff. So
exactly.
yeah, that'd be a cool concept to play around with. Like, you know, show us more of like what the ancient predators' interaction with humans were. That would be like a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I mean, AVP, it was something that, in my opinion, kind of revamped like the Alien franchise. Like, I don't know if it was as big of a movie as I think, but I really enjoyed it when it came out.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And I thought like for your first time,
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Cool. What were you saying?
No. I was just wondering, like, what were some of like your favorite parts, like watching it for the first time?
That's a good question. Some of my favorite parts. I mean, I thought the whole concept was pretty interesting. Oh my gosh. Favorite parts. Now I'm getting stuck on that. Anyway, I'm trying to think of like specific things.
I hear you.
But yeah, I thought the whole concept was really interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like the predators were not ready.
I
did not feel like they were ready for this.
I know one alien got two predators in the first part of the hunt.
Yeah, and I know like the people took their guns and everything, but I just don't think they were prepared.
Yeah, they
weren't ready for any hand-to-hand combat.
No,
with the aliens.
Not at all.
They were not warned about anything.
Facts. Yeah. So that was a drawback.
Yeah, for sure. And then like the whole part with I know I'm talking about random stuff now.
That's okay.
The whole part with like the guy going down there who was like super sick and everything.
Yeah.
Right. That was the old sick guy. Wailing.
Yeah, right. That didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like, I don't know. Yeah. Some of the parts were like, all right, come on. but yeah, I really like the concept of like the meshing of the like ancient cultures, because you don't really know how ancient cultures start. You know, or like how they've come together, how they've come apart, and things like that.
True.
I feel like that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know.
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then like, the last thing I would point out is like that little labyrinth that they had in there. That was pretty sick. That the like maze shifted every 10 minutes.
Oh wow, that's right.
Because that definitely was giving off like battle bot, I don't know what to call it, but like kind of like a like cool sort of
because your terrain changes every 10 minutes. You don't really know what to expect. It's like part of the test.
Exactly. So it would have been cool to see some aliens hunt without humans around, you know what I'm saying, and interfere with all this stuff.
The predators,
but nonetheless, I thought, thank you for watching Alien vs Predator with me. I think it's a really good movie. It's from like my childhood. I've been watching it. It's literally a 20-year-old film, but like they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. Honestly, I wouldn't have guessed it was like 20 years old.
I know,
it was pretty like the CGI or whatever they used.
Yeah, facts. Pretty good. So those were our thoughts on Alien vs Predator. This also provoked us to watch like the Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So we'll probably talk about those at some point.
Yeah.
But regardless, this was about Alien vs Predator. And if you
made it this far,
thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.